Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are going to be continuing Advance Wars 1 campaign with the first official mission, which is Mission 4, It's a War. Right, so here we go, we're going to finally begin one of my favorite games of all time. And this is where it all started. This was originally the first mission in the game for the GBA, so let's get right into it. Mission 4, It's War. Alright. Andy, do you read me?
No.
Nell, is that you? Is this a transceiver? That's right, Andy, and I'll be using it to contact you from now on. Since this is your first solo mission, I want to make myself available in case you need any advice. Don't worry about me, Nell. This mission is going to be a piece of cake.
Good luck.
Oh, and Andy. Oops. You're nothing if not enthusiastic. Good luck. Okay, so we take a look at this map. It's not too big. It's a fairly small map. There are no bases, so we cannot make any units yet, just like in the tutorial. So we're going to have to use cities if we want to repair our units. But for the most part, we should go through this pretty easily. So what you want to do is either capture the enemy HQ or destroy every unit on the map. For me, I'm going to go with destroy every enemy on the map. To me, it's just a little bit easier that way. So to start, we can check the range on these ranged units, and they are out of range of protecting this tank. So first things first, we go use our medium tank against the tank. For now, I'm going to leave animations off, I think, because you guys can see the damage before it actually happens, and then you guys can see the result on screen. So, but if you guys watch the videos and you guys think that you want to see the animations, then let me know, and I'll turn animations back on for you guys to view. But otherwise, this will just save time for me. So we can just start moving our troops up. Make sure we stay out of range of the rocket. We do have anti-air over here, as well as this medium tank that are probably going to move down this way. So we gotta make sure we are able to take care of those when they get here. Let's go ahead and get the mech loaded up into the APC. We'll move the infantry. We'll probably move the infantry up. I'm going to move this artillery this way as well, I think. Yeah, to help take care of the medium tank. Alright, and up here, we're going to go ahead and start with attacking with our tank, getting the first strike on this one. It'll hurt a little bit. We also have the anti-air to back it up, deal a little bit more damage. And then we can move the artillery over here as backup. Okay, so that's the first turn for me. It is now Olaf's turn. Not too worried about my anti-air taking damage here, because it's not really effective against destroying other vehicles, other than maybe other anti-air and the infantry, so it's fine that it's taking some damage. So now we do have this artillery up here we gotta be careful of. I believe, yes, my tank can actually come down on the bottom of it and strike it, so that's good. This anti-air is in range of my artillery, so to help with that, I think I want to have the anti-air attack the infantry, and I'll have the mech attack the tank, and we'll just go ahead and move my artillery over here. If he decides to use his artillery to attack mine, that's fine by me, but I just don't want the anti-air to hit it. It'll probably do like 5 or so damage. So over here, this tank is retreating, which I'm a little bit sad about. I can't really catch it quite yet. But maybe if we do this, we'll attack here. Can I destroy it? Not with that. Yeah, so I won't be able to catch up to it, but we can use our medium tank to attack this rocket here, which is really good. Use my tank on the anti-air, I think will be fine. Mech can kill the artillery. We can leave this one out of range for now of the mech on the other anti-air. Alright. And then so we're going to just move up a little bit further, and the infantry can also head up. So I think with this, Olaf might have his co-power. He does. So I'm going to get slowed down for a turn. The snow Again, doubles movement costs for all my units. So it's a little bit of a pain, but it's not really going to be that much of a deal. And when he's using his cult power, he does get a 10% attack and defense boost as well. I think with him dealing as much damage as he did, I might be close to my cult power. Oh, not quite. I got 2 stars, even though the bar at the top is, you know, not really filled too much. It's a little bit deceiving, so I'm actually in good shape. So the mech, unhindered by the snow, can actually attack the entire for me, so this is perfect. And then we can use the artillery to damage his artillery even further. Go ahead and take out the vehicles to start. Take care of this infantry. Doesn't matter how many properties he captures, like this one right here. There are no bases to deploy units, so that doesn't really matter to me. Next over, we're going to have, I guess we can use the artillery to finish off the entire. And we're going to use our tank, our medium tank to... I don't want this rocket to retreat, so I'm going to have to probably finish it off right now. Yeah, because I don't want it to retreat and heal up, so... Then over here, I think we'll also stay out of range one more turn. And the only reason why I want to stay out of range is because the mechs hurt against vehicles, so just want to make sure I don't die. Alright, let's go with that. Again, I'm not perfect. I haven't played every mission over and over. So my strategies might not be perfect. I probably won't even S every mission or get a maximum rank on every mission, but I'm going to do my best and see how I do. So my medium tank took a little bit of damage from those mechs, but as you can see, my code power meter is full. Remember to use your code power to heal units and give them extra attack boost. I totally forgot to go over Andy. So Andy's my favorite commanding officer in the game, or in the franchise. Not so much for Advance Wars 1, but for Advance Wars 2, he is, to me, one of the best. He has no weaknesses, but no advantages or disadvantages. His code power allows him to repair all units by 2 HP, and only for 3 stars. And then of course you get 10% attack, power, and defense when you use it. So in this case, this is the reason why he's my favorite, is I can do something like this.
I can fix anything!
Use his code power, and repair most of the damage that I just received on the past couple days. Just like that. And so, I want to actually go ahead and use my tank to attack the entire first, and then the mech, and then that way I can move my artillery up further, because I want to get my artillery into range or over here so I can start taking out this medium tank in a couple of turns. Over here, I can use I'm just going to use my infantry. No, I can use the anti-air and take it back to take care of this infantry. So we can use the infantry in the mountains as a bait for that tank to come on over. And we can put our artillery in range of him, so we can hit him when he comes in. Just make sure my other units are not in range, like that, and we can end our turn. So we should be able to bait that tank in the top, and we have to lure in this medium tank in by his HQ over to mine, so I can take it out. I have a couple infantry coming over as well, which is fine. Recons are, good against other recons, but also infantry. So let's go ahead and have the recon take care of these guys. What I'm going to do is I need this mech to come with me. So I'm going to use the mech to lure in the medium tank. I'll go ahead and put it right here. Put the artillery right behind it, so I can cover it. Next turn I can use my medium tank and artillery to destroy his tank. Again, so we have the artillery attacking first, we can use the mech to finish it off. Then we can start moving our vehicles up. Could leave the infantry there. What's going to happen is I'm going to have to try and get this tank to come and attack me. Probably. Upset Olaf. Alright, yay, my mech didn't die too. Alright, day 6 rolls along. So let's go ahead and use the artillery to hit the medium tank. And we can use my medium tank to hit his. I didn't quite kill it, but that's what this tank here is here for. So I can finish it off. We're going to head and attack both these infantry, and then that's pretty much it down here. Recon will take care of the 2 infantry on the next turn, and all we have to do is get into close range. I can go ahead and attack here. He's not going to repair it enough to scare me, and I don't need the infantry to move anymore. We're almost done. So the snow is going to be a bit of a hassle. It's going to give him a little bit of a time boost because my units won't be able to move further, but it's no problem. So he does attack my tank, which is unfortunate, and I can't reinforce it right now. I probably shouldn't have attacked, but I did, so kind of a bad play on my part. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go over here and maybe lure him off of the city. That way he cannot repair anymore. Get my anti-air over here, even my artillery too, I guess. Or actually, well, it doesn't matter. He can attack my artillery if he goes here. So we just need to slowly move up our units. Let's see, where's this rocket? So we can attack diagonal of the forest, so we can move our tank right here. Maybe we can lure in that tank with an injured mech. Maybe he'll want to kill it. That would be actually really good. If not, that's okay. We'll keep the artillery out of range here. Let's see what he does. So he waits on the city. That's actually the best thing. So now my tank can come in and hit his, and we can start attacking that rocket to finish it off and end the mission on the next turn. Alright, there we go. First mission complete. Ah, I lost again. Who in the world are you? My name's Andy. I'm a CO in the... You're the Orange Star... The Orange Star Army must be getting desperate to send such inexperienced commanding officers into the field. Inexperienced enough to get the best of you. Be that as it may, it takes a lot to best me. I'll remember you, mark my words. How can I mark your words? I don't even know your name. My name? I am known throughout the Orange Star Army as... Nell's grandpa? That's right, Nell's... What? No! That's what I get for being nice to children. No respect. Grr, you watch yourself, little boy. Alright, so... Like I said, I like Olaf. He's a great commanding officer. But you have to know how to use him right. The AI does not know how to use him right. So that's Olaf, huh? Alright, so I didn't get the full speed, and I didn't finish the map in, what, maybe 7 or 8 days to get the full score, but that's okay. I think you need a minimum of 280 for an S. So as long as I get 280 on every mission, I'll be happy. Alright, so that was mission 4. We'll move on to mission 5, Gunfighter. So this is going to be our new enemy CO, Grit. Gunfighter. So I can skip that. Save myself a few seconds. Alright, so this mission's a tedious one, that's for sure.
Andy!
Andy, can you hear me? Come in, please.
Okay.
Loud and clear. What's up, Nell? You've been given the authority to use bases to deploy new units onto the field. Do you need a refresher on how to use bases? No.
I've got this.
I know how bases work now. Don't worry, I've got this. Alright, so here we have our first bases. Before I told you guys in the tutorial that each unit costs or is worth a certain value, well, this is why. To deploy a unit, you have to be able to purchase it. And every turn, depending on how many properties you have, if I go to status, the amount of properties you have will give you 1,000 per property, giving me 8,000 a day. And so on this first day, I have 8,000 funds. If I don't spend anything and I go to the next day, it'll add up and I'll have 16,000 funds. So it is important to manage your money wisely, and build the correct units accordingly. So if we take a look at this map, and the bases only deploy ground units. They don't deploy anything else. So there's bases for ground, airports for the air units, and I think they're just called ports seaports for the naval units, and we'll get to those eventually. So for this map, Grit does not have any bases, so we can actually take our time, build up an army, and then attack him instead of just charging in army to army. He has all these infantry up here, they're across the river, so I cannot get to them directly. And then on this side there's mountains, so they're going to capture these properties and then they're going to walk right down here, which will help me take care of them. Either way, this is one long road, and that's where we're going to have to take place. Now Grit, the enemy commanding officer, his indirect combat units gain 1 extra attack range, making them very scary. But his direct combat units, like tanks, they suffer minus 20% firepower. So if you can see the blue here, this indicates your the firepower of your units. Mine are all orange because I'm neutral as Andy. I don't get any bonuses or disadvantages. Grit, on the other hand, his indirects deal the same amount of damage, but they have extra range by 1, and they decrease their direct units' firepower by 20%. So, as you can see, this rocket, very huge range. It reaches all the way down to 6 squares away. Artilleries are the same thing. They reach for 4 squares away, instead of what mine will do, 3 and 5 respectively. So, we have to be careful of his attack range. His code power also increases their attack range by an additional range. Actually +2. So yeah, so +2. So very scary. Gotta make sure I'm out of range of that. And then increases their firepower by a lot. So to start, we're gonna have to try and get as much money as we can, and then build up an army to attack his units. So I'm gonna start capturing here because I want to make sure this tank comes and attacks me. So we're gonna put my artillery right here to cover it, because this is where the tank can go. And then my tank will be back up to destroy it. For now, this infantry isn't really going to do anything, so I'll just have to go right here. Let me see. I think we'll just go ahead and build a tank to start, and we'll save up a little bit of money. We want to try to get a medium tank if we can, or maybe our rockets, because Grit does have a medium tank on his HQ. And even though he has minus 20% firepower, we need something to get through the medium tank's heavy defenses. So even an artillery might be good, but it's good to have a medium tank to help maybe lure it in. So anyways, Blue Moon is just plain greedy. That's what this is. Fighting for these folks just don't sit well with me. Well, I guess I'll just mosey on out and see what happens. Alright, so that tank's attacking mine, which is good. That means I can kill on this next turn. Andy, pick up the transceiver now. Well, Nell, I'm here. What's going on? We just learned that Grit is the opposing CO. He's an indirect fire expert whose attack range exceeds the standard distance. Worse, his range gets even bigger when he uses CO power. Make sure you check Grit's attack range throughout the battle and keep at a safe distance. Understood. Hey, Nell, how do you know so much about this guy? We, used to be close friends. Anyway, that's all I had to tell you. Nell out. Huh? Nell sure hung up in a hurry. Did I say something to offend her? Alright, so again, we use the artillery first to attack, and then we can safely destroy it with my own tank. Finish capturing the city. Recon is just out of range. But to make sure it does come and attack me, I am going to... Actually, I want to wait, because my artillery is out of range. So we're going to wait. Go ahead and move my APC over here for now. So he still has quite a few units, so I'm going to go ahead and build another tank, and then we'll wait here. Best way to defeat Grit in this mission is just overwhelm his indirects with a whole bunch of tanks and recons, because of their ability to move in and attack. Alright, so now I'm going to move my tank up here, finish capturing the city. His recon can come and attack me if he wants, but I'll have my artillery ready to destroy it. So I'm going to put you in here. Alright, so now these infantry up here are going to start finishing capturing the properties, and then they're going to try to start charging down across the river. So, in order to stop them, I'm just going to build some recons, and then these recons can also help me travel along the long road and take care of his other units.
Alright.
Alright, so here we go. Now we can destroy the recon. Now these artilleries are still out of range, and I don't think he's not even halfway to his code power yet. So we can start moving up just a little bit, and we might be able to get some good hits on the next turn. I'll move like this. So when an allied unit is damaged, you can go onto an allied property and heal up to 2 HP per turn. But it does take out the same amount percentage-wise of funds from your total money. So just be wary that, you know, when you're repairing a unit, 20% of the value goes, is taken away from you every day. So this infantry costs 1,000, at full power. So since I'm recovering 20% or 2 HP, I'm going to take 200 funds, 20% of 1,000. And it goes for every unit. So if I was a tank, I'd take 20% of the tank's value and reduce that from my daily income. So it's kind of important to make sure you have enough money to repair units. Otherwise, maybe don't do it. So once again, I want to have these recon come over here, get ready to attack these next when they cross the river. In order to take on that medium tank, I can either build another artillery, or I can wait for a medium tank, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to build one more infantry just in case I need it to support my recons over here. Alright, so this next turn is going to probably hurt a little bit, but let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and attack these recons really quick. Take out one of them. We can even use this infantry to help out the guy here. So he might be close to his code power soon. And what that's going to do is going to put his rockets in attack range of my units. So let's see, I want to try and just attack 2 of his artilleries. Let's see if that gave him his code power. Not quite. So we are safe. I'm pretty sure actually I can destroy this one, and he will still not have code power. Hope for this. Yeah, so this way my tanks are still out of range of his rockets for this turn. And even though this one is in range, it's not going to do too much damage, so that's good. One way to win for this map is to capture the enemy HQ, which I might go for if I have enough resources to do so. If I can keep this infantry healthy, then that'd be good. We're going to build that medium tank just in case, but I'm pretty sure my artillery alone should be able to take care of the medium tank. We shall see. So as you guys can see, the enemy likes to go for transports because, one, they don't attack back. I think that's one of the biggest reasons is that they can't retaliate. So they get the bigger value out of them, as well as transports are important units. Probably not that important that you have to focus your fire on them, but that's what the AI does. So that's why I attack this APC instead of attacking one of my tanks. So it's good to know, good information to have, but I think it's only for Advanced Wars 1 and 2. I think in Advanced Wars 3 and 4 they actually change their mind and get a little smarter. So we're going to finish this tank off here. Same thing right here. I want to try to stay out of range of the rockets, so if we add 2 to each of these, that's their attack range. So these rockets can actually shoot all the way down here. So we can move APC like this, move this over here. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to kill this artillery before it kills my APC, so I'm going to go ahead and attack that one. This rocket should hit my tank when he uses his full power, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Unless I can get, oh yeah, because that one's all the way over there. So yeah, and then I'm gonna have my infantry wait over here, wait for his infantry to cross the river, and I'll take him out. I'm gonna have this one attack here, I guess, because I don't want the mech to retreat and heal. Just a waste of time if I do that. And we'll have my medium tank move up, as well as my recons. So I can move one extra square. And we can continue building some tanks, I guess. here comes his
Sorry to have
snipe attack.
Snipe attack.
Ouch. And that's the incredible range of Grit's rockets. They really hurt. I mean, he's... what is this? Like 8 squares away? I mean, look at this guy's range. Look at this. He covers like... especially this one. This one covers like half the map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, Grit is a very formidable foe. However, indirects do cost a little bit, you know, more, well, at least the rocket costs 15,000. Artilleries cost 6,000, but they're very frail units. They can't go into direct combat like tanks can. So they're very susceptible to a lot of units. And so Grit is a good CO, but he does have his flaws. So we're going to move my tank here, and I will be in range of that rocket for next turn, which is great. Now we can start hammering it. We can actually use a recon as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can actually destroy that rocket with my recon. Which is great. Okay, back over here we have the infantry, so let's go ahead and finish them off. Put this one here and lure the other one in. And we'll just, we'll build some more recons. It doesn't really matter at this point. The army that I have on the right is what I'm going to use to win the match. Finish these infantry off. Move my recon in. My tank in. Another reason why I built these recons was because they're the only units that can really catch up to my main army. So that's always good. We'll use my recons to attack here first. And we'll keep my tank. Let's see, I want to try actually to bait this medium tank in. Maybe it'll attack my APC, which will be really good. Oh wait, the rocket will probably actually attack my APC. I made a mistake. I'll cover this infantry if anything. Either way, as long as the medium tank doesn't attack this recon, we'll be in good shape. Alright, that should be good. We don't need to build any more units at this point. So the rocket does destroy my APC. Tank attacks recon. And unfortunately that medium tank did not attack my infantry like I wanted it to. But that's okay. We do have our co-power now. So what we're going to do is, this is one reason why I like Andy, is you can attack units first, and then use your co-power at the end of your turn. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and use my medium tank to hit his. I'm also going to capture the city, maybe lure him into attacking it. Use my tanks as well on this tank here. Move up with all my units. And I'm not going to attack quite yet, because your co-power does give you a 10% attack and defense boost. So I will use it now, because my tank and recon are going to destroy his rocket. So that way his co-power is useless, and his, you know, extra strong rocket launcher is nullified. Not that it's extra strong, it's just got a bigger range, so it's kind of annoying. So it can actually hit my medium tank from where it is, and I don't want that to happen. So we're going to go ahead and destroy it really quick. Like so. We can move up our recons if we want. Doesn't hurt to do so. Okay, we can end our turn. So now it's his turn. He's got his co-power, but no indirect units to boost, so he's probably just going to use it. Doesn't really help him though. But again, every co-power, regardless of the commanding officer, will give a 10% attack and defense boost. So here he goes. He's going to attack my infantry. Unfortunately, it was not with the medium tank, but I should be able to defeat him this turn. Maybe. Let's see. Medium tank first. The healthy tank next. So it's going to come down to a little bit of luck. I'm going to use my full power tank here. Bring this 5 all the way back. And we did kill him, so that's good. And that's how you beat this mission.
Hey there,
it's not too hard, it's just a matter of taking your time and getting around his indirects. Hey there, Junior. Nice shooting. Don't call me Junior. I have a name. It's Andy. Well, now that's the spirit. Y'all are new to the Orange Star Army, right? Maybe, but how would you know that? Well, no, that's because I'm Grit. I was beholden to Orange Star not too long ago myself. Sure, I'm pretty familiar with most of the military
Well.
types. Well, you'll beat me this time, but who knows, maybe we'll see each other on the flip side. So long, Junior. Ugh. I just noticed when the screen changes
Stop
colors, it
calling
really
me
changes
Junior.
the reflection on myself. That's funny. So I did get the speed and power, but not technique this time. I forgot to go over the criteria for each one, so I'll just do that really quick. To get 100 speed, you have to defeat each mission in a certain amount of days that the game probably expects you to beat it in. It's like a par time per se, you know, based on other games. Power is destroying a certain percentage of the enemy's maximum army. It's a bit of a complicated, what's it called? Complicated calculation, but as long as you destroy a lot of units in a single turn, then you're good to go. You'll get 100 power. And then technique is what percentage of your army did you lose? In order to get 100, you can only lose 10%, I think, of your army. So if you deploy 10 units, that means you can only lose 1 unit. I think I lost 2. Yeah, 2. And I did not make 20 units, so that means I lost a little bit of technique there. But it's okay. Like I said, as long as I get an S or 280 points, I'm happy. Alright, so that was mission 5. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next one of mission 6, Air Ace. So we're going to be going against, as you guys can see, Eagle, and he is my second favorite co in the entire franchise. He's an air unit specialist, and I love air units so much. I think they're the best units in the game. So I can't wait to eventually show you guys his abilities. Using him, not going against him. So, but stay tuned for that. That's going to be nearing the end of the game, not in the beginning, because he's our enemy. So mission 6, Air Ace. Yeah, so Eagle, second favorite commanding officer, and he's number 1. Yeah. Commander, the area appears to be occupied by unidentified forces, sir. Well, that's not good. Didn't Nell say this area was empty, as in no enemies? Andy, come in. Do you copy?
No!
No, there are hostile forces here. So it seems, but those aren't Blue Moon troops. I'll see what I can find out. Hold your position. If you need it, we have a base here you can use as a last resort. Alright, so this mission, there are 2 ways you can beat this mission. Obviously, destroy every enemy on the map, or capture his HQ, which is all the way over here. Very similar to the second tutorial, where the HQ is all the way by itself. All we have to do is take care of these units first, and then it's going to be by itself, and I can just freely capture it. His only base is over here, and it's not even captured yet. So we don't have to worry about destroying every enemy on this, or enemy unit. We're just going to cover our transport copter here, and make sure it doesn't get destroyed by his air units, and we'll go capture his HQ. So Eagle is an air unit specialist. He gains 15% attack power and extra 10% to defense to all his air units, and they use 2 less fuel per day. The air units will use a little bit more fuel than ground units, or rather, ground units don't use any fuel as long as they don't move. Air units have to use a certain amount of fuel every day. But Eagle, being an air specialist, has weak naval units. So he's you know, I like using air units, not really so much as naval. So he's perfect for me when I got introduced for him. His ground units are neutral, just like mine. So he pretty much gets a lot more benefits than negatives, as most battles do not use naval units. So that's why he is my favorite. His co-power, Lightning Drive, used to be called something else, which in Advance Wars 2, this equity box on the right side, is going to have his super co-power, which used to be Lightning Strike. In any case, when he uses his co-power, his non-infantry units get to move again. So he can do his turn, for example, since I'm going to do this anyways. I can use this anti-air, destroy this copter. If I use Lightning Drive, this anti-air would be able to move once again and be able to act but with 50% firepower. I think, and defense, right? I think it's 50% firepower and defense. But it's pretty much like moving an extra half a turn. So it's a very, very strong co-power. Another reason why it costs 2 more stars than mine does. Because it is that much better. So we're going to have to be careful of that. But for now, we can just freely move in and start destroying some of his units here that are in range. We have 2 new units on this map. Yeah, 2. We have the fighter. The fighter, big movement range. Or here's the attack range, movement range. Moves 9 squares. And it can only attack other air units. A bit costly, costs 20,000 to build these. But they pretty much destroy air units with ease, and they can only be attacked by missiles, anti-air cruisers, which is one of the naval ships, and other fighters. So they're really good. They move far. They have a lot of fuel. They're really good units. And the other unit is the bomber, which has a little bit less movement, but still a good range. A little bit bigger than the copter. Also has 99 fuel. But hits ground units really hard. This thing can destroy everything. Naval units, destroys medium tanks like nothing. They are your go-to ground destroying units. And while the fighter is my favorite unit in the entire game, the bomber is a close second. It is really good. So we have to be careful of this one when we're dealing with our ground units. So anyways, those are the 2 units. That's Eagle, and we're going to move on to finish this mission. So we're just going to start by moving all our troops up as far as possible. Like I said, we're just going to make sure we kill the copters, the bombers, and the fighters, and then we can go ahead and capture his HQ. I don't think we'll need to do anything else after that. Okay, so we're just going to move our army up. It is now Eagle's turn. So some of his units will not move at all, which is fine. They're programmed that way. But his air units are meant to charge, or at least his fighters and copters. His bomber is also another unit that's programmed to sit still. We'll just have to lure it in by putting a unit right here in its attack range and destroy it after a little while. So we'll go ahead and use the anti-air to kill this copter. This copter is the only thing that can attack my ground units. So we're going to go ahead and put my anti-air here. I'll put my medium tank right here. And the only thing I have to worry about are these fighters destroying my air units. So in order to do that, the funny thing about the game, air units cannot go over your ground units. So if I do this, right, so as you guys can see, they cannot attack, they cannot go over my ground units and attack my air units. It's the funny thing about Advanced Wars, but it's the only way to make it fair. That's the same thing with bridges and sea units. They cannot go underneath. Bridges are impassable for sea units. You know, and then ground units can also not go under air units. So it's really funny. But that's just how the game is. I don't mind it. I think it's fair. But it's just kind of funny that, you know, we can't go through each other's armies like that. So stupidly, he's going to move his units in like this. And all I have to do is just keep my air units away from his fighters, and we will be safe. So he allows me to attack his fighter, which is great. Destroying one of them. His copter is here, so we can go ahead and destroy another one. And we're just going to move our tanks in a way that keeps my my air units safe. So we'll just surround them like this. However, I do want to make sure that there is enough space for his fighter to try and reach him. So I'm going to make my units go like this. So that way he can try and fly around. Because if I surrounded them completely, then this fighter would not move. But I want it to move so I can get into range with my anti-air units. Oh! I forgot he has his co-power. You guys get to see him attack my transport copter, I guess. But because of his co-power, he should have 50% less attack. His day-to-day ability gives him an extra 15, so he'll have what? 65% attack power. So it should not kill my transport, even though he is a good air specialist. Woo! Really close. I think fighters deal like 120% damage to copter units. So Eagle's fighter, or at least I think they do 100, but Eagles do 115. So minus 50%, you know, is a huge hindrance to him. But anyways, I know who you encountered. Those are Green Earth troops. I heard rumors that there was an independent battalion roaming about. I believe you found them. Watch out for their engines. They're supposed to be brutal. You're a little late with that intel, Nell. Oh no, are you already under attack? Well, good luck. I'm sure you'll figure things out.
Nell?
Nell? She left me. Well, guess it's all on me now. Luckily, he didn't destroy my transport copter. If he did, I would have had to restart this video, or this mission. Because it's actually crucial that I make sure it doesn't die. So we're going to actually use my anti-air to kill this. And the reason being is I want to move my missile launcher up so I can take care of the bomber more easily. Okay, so again we can move our transport copter over here. We have the battle copter to take care of this tank over here, so as long as those two units are safe, we are good to go and finish this mission. It doesn't even matter that there's all these other properties right now, because again, once I kill those two units, we can just go ahead and capture his HQ. So he's going to start pumping out medium tanks in that top left base, but the mission will be over before they even get here. So we're going to go ahead and put my medium tank in this forest to take care of, or to lure in that bomber. Yeah, and then we can put the missile launcher right here, so we can cover it. That way on his, my next turn, I should be able to kill his bomber. Alright, then we have our battle copter over here to help me take care of the tank. We'll just keep it right here for now. I think if I put my battle copter too close, it might scare away the bomber from attacking. So as you can see, medium tanks, really heavy armor. Tanks barely do any damage to them. And I'm on a force for 20% extra defense, and Eagle's bomber still almost killed it in one shot. That just shows you how much firepower this thing has. So Eagle's areas, very fearsome, but we do have our co-power, so this way we can easily get a kill on the bomber, but it doesn't really matter. I don't even have to use my co-power, I just like using it. Makes it look better. Boom. So the missiles can still one-shot his bomber, while I'm using my co-power for that extra 10% attack boost. I'm going to move my Bellcopter right here, and we'll drop off the infantry right here on this HQ. So his tank can't attack it anymore, so this mission's pretty much done in 2 turns. Right, fast forward here. Alright. So I don't even have to kill the tank, just as long as my copters are in front of the mech, but we'll go ahead and destroy it anyways, because why not? It's this is Advanced Wars, that's the whole point of the game, destroying things. Alright, and with that we have captured his HQ, and we have completed the mission. I don't think we lost a single unit, so it's perfect. I lost? That hardly seems possible. Huh? It's you, Andy.
Yeah.
Finally, someone who knows my name. But who are you?
Don't play
dumb with me, boy. I'll never forgive you for what you've done.
Huh?
Huh? So continuing to feign ignorance, huh? Very well, enjoy your ruse. The next time we meet will be the last. Hey, wait up. He's gone. Yeesh, what was that all about? Who was that guy? At least he got my name right. Alright, so it looks like I could have did this a turn or two faster apparently. But that's like you have to like the precise movement to do it. So the game wants you to capture or win by HQ capture, as you guys can see. Otherwise your speed would really go down. But yeah, so that's how you do Air Ace. Now fairly simple. Again, while these missions are part of the main story, they are still kind of introductory. They're still trying to get you used to the game, as if you're a first-time user. So, you know, it might be a little slow to start, but it'll quickly pick up as we go along. So we're going to play one more mission here, and this one is the first one that's going to split into two. Mission 7, Max Strikes. So we're going to get introduced to our new CO, Max, and we're going to play his version of it first, because the title of the map is Max Strikes. Alright, so here we go, Mission 7. Day 1. Well, hello there, Max. Nice to see you helping out.
Oh yeah!
How you doing, Nell? Now that I'm here, what's the kid gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh, Max, you haven't changed a bit. Don't get too cocky. Andy may be young, but he's already quite the capable CO. If you're not careful, he may just pass you up in the ranks. Do you need a refresher course on science? No. Now I know what's what. Thanks for checking in. Okay, then sounds like you got a handle on that. Do you need me to explain submarines? No. Good, I'm glad you've been paying attention. I can handle this, no problem. Alright, so we have Max. Enthusiastic, strong man who is loyal and earnest. He's unmatched when it comes to direct combat, but weak over distances. He's very much the direct opposite of Grit. His units get massive 50% extra firepower. His tanks or any other direct combat units, excluding infantry. But his indirect combats lose 1 attack range, and they minus 10% firepower and defense. Max Force gives me 1 extra movement to all his tanks, as well as an extra 35% firepower and 10% defense. I mean, this Max is probably the most broken CL in Advance Wars 1. So the yellow is the attack boost I get, and then the blue, of course, is the attack power I minus. So as you guys can see, this is Olaf's battleship. This is the range. Oh, by the way, we have our naval units here. So let's go over that first. Battleships, they're your main, I guess you could say, C unit. They move 5 spaces, so they move at a good distance. They have 6 attack range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are 1 attack range higher than rockets. So rockets cannot deal with battleships too easily, as the battleship has 1 extra range. But they have the same attack power, so battleships and rockets are equal in that regard. But battleships are also limited only to the sea, so you have to be careful of that. The other sea unit we have on the map is the submarine, which only attacks sea units, of course. And this one has the ability to dive, and it will not be able to get attacked except by other submarines or the other sea unit, a cruiser, which is not on this map right now. So that's where Olaf made this mistake. He has this nice navy of 4 battleships, but no way of combating my submarines. So yeah, those are the 2 new naval units. So as you guys can see, Olaf gets 6 attack range, so he can hit my sea units here. Max, on the other hand, because I decreased 1 attack range, this is my range for my battleship. I can still hit his, but it is a little bit shorter. And if you guys take a look at my artillery, look at my artillery's sad attack range. It's very small. Only 2 squares, that's it. And I can't attack next to myself, so... artillery's very bad units when Max is in control. Rockets aren't too bad. They're like a Grit artillery in a way, but they're still pretty bad. And they lose attack power, so just be wary when using Max that indirects are probably not going to be used, but they're still useful for some situations. So now we're going to go ahead and use the battleship to hit Olaf's really quick so we can destroy it in 1 shot. We are out of attack range of his other ones. And then we're going to use this battleship to go ahead and move in and dive, so that way we can try and hit his battleships on the next turn. So when we're dive, the submarine will use 5 extra fuel, I believe. Oops, let me check. It doesn't say how much fuel they take up. But I think it's 5 extra, or 5 per turn, so it is a lot. Sea units only use 1 per turn, but if you're dived, you will take 5. And even though I have 55 fuel now, it will go pretty quickly if I stay underwater. So submarines really good when they can't be hit when they're dived. but they will lose fuel fairly quickly, so I have to be careful of that. Again, Olaf's units, or his indirect units, are not in range to protect his units, so I'm going to go ahead and strike his units now while I have the chance. That's the fun thing about this map. And we can go ahead and actually move up our other units as well, because why not? So, most likely one of these tanks will attack this artillery. The rocket will be able to cover it, and so that's why I'm going to leave it there. We're going to move our mech here. I'm going to use the APC to transport our other mech. Again, mechs are very good for taking on the enemy tanks, so go ahead and do that. Move our other tanks up, and again, you could use the lander we have over here, which transports ground units across the water, to capture his HQ over here when his units leave, but I think it's still just easier just to kill everything. So we're not even going to use the lander on this map. Behold, gaze upon my wondrous army. Orange Star may match me in numbers, but they possess only a fraction of my power. But you're not very well balanced. What happens if Orange Star sends their subs under? That sure stop you cold. My battleships rule the sea. Is there anything more I need? No, nothing at all. Attack, attack, attack. Well, ain't he like a dog with his favorite bone? As long as you're happy, boss. And Grid is right. As long as my subs are underwater, he can't do anything about it. So we can just move our submarines in and destroy his battleships. But of course, he has his Blizzard. And once again, it doubles the movement cost for all my units, including sea and air. Even though, you know, they don't go through terrain, it still doubles the movement cost. So unfortunately, my bottom sub, the one that is dived, will not be able to attack this turn. Even if I moved it over here instead, I'd still only be able to move 2 squares, as you guys can see. And then this one won't be able to attack this turn either, because I want to make sure it doesn't get attacked by his battleships. So I will have to go here and dive. Now his battleships are over here and have a big range, so we're going to try and keep my battleship out of range for now, even though it doesn't really matter too much. And then, of course, he has a big attack range over here, so what I might do is I want to keep my medium tanks safe, these two right here, the big ones. Because these ones are going to be important for taking on his medium tank, as well as destroying the other little tanks, as they cannot damage me. So, using infantry, capturing infantry like this, is useful for drawing fire from the battleships. They might attack them, because usually the AI doesn't want you capturing properties. So now, we can go ahead and use the rocket to destroy this tank like I wanted it to. And then this artillery is actually in prime position, even though I have such a small attack range, I can destroy this one. His battleships might attack my APC, it might attack my artillery, or it might attack my infantry units, and that's exactly what I want. And then for now, I'm actually going to move my medium tanks as far out of range as possible, so he cannot use the battleships on them. Go ahead and put my tank here, I guess. I could leave it there for now, it's okay. And then we'll leave my medium tank right here, out of range of his. And let's see what he does. How dare they? Nobody plows through my army like that. In and back. So one battleship attacks the mech capturing, another battleship attacks the infantry capturing, and one battleship attacked my APC because once again, the enemy likes attacking transports, even though there's no logical reason to. So let's see, I'm very close to my co-power. Submarines, max submarines at least, almost can destroy units in one go. If I got 9% luck, I would be able to deal 9 damage, but that's still not enough to destroy them. And so, what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and move some units around, and we're going to try and get that extra bit of co-power that I need. I'm very close. So what I can do is max tanks are so strong, we can one-shot rockets. Boom. With that, I just got 7,500 in value, giving me my co-power like nothing. You can go ahead and use it.
Give up.
Hey, give up while you can. And this is why max is broken in this game. Max, of course. This co-power is busted. It is so overpowered that you're about to see why I keep repeating myself. So submarines now will be able to one-shot his battleships. Boom. 2 battleships dead. Like, I'm going to put this one right here, I think in range of this battleship. You'll probably want to hit it. Let's get you guys out of range so you guys don't die. That mech might die, but that's okay. One shot, 158%. Medium tank versus medium tank, 102%. So now max medium tanks can annihilate enemy medium tanks. It's ridiculous. Unfortunately, I'm not in range of that artillery, which is sad, but we've pretty much cleared out all the main units on this map anyways. So I'm going to head attack this tank here. With that 91%, I got an extra 9% luck it looks like, and I destroyed this tank. So automatically, you know, showing you guys that Max is just a little overpowered in that regard. So now we can move our rocket up like that. So now his battleship has to make a decision on what to attack. There's a 3 mech, 7 artillery, full powered rocket. He'll probably attack the rocket, I'm pretty sure. Just because of the value it has. Oh, no, he attacks my battleship. Interesting. But that allows me to use my rocket on his medium tank now. I don't want to use it on his battleship because I have my submarines. So they're gone. Again, I have my medium tank here, one-shotting this infantry that has 30%, 40%, 30 from the city, 10% extra from his co-power, and 40% extra defense, and I still one-shot it with max. And then I can use my tanks to clear out this artillery. And that mission is complete. So, 4 turns it took me. So Max, most overpowered Co in this game. Doesn't mean he's the best. He is definitely one of the top tiers though. How's that? What do you think of that power? Wow, Max, there's no way I could do that much damage. Yeah, that's right. As long as I didn't use my indirect combat units, that is. Oh, you. That's exactly right, Andy. Max doesn't use indirect combat units because he's clumsy. And your range of fire is so small too. That's life-threatening, isn't it? Ha, I'll do just fine without relying on those units. I wonder about that. At any rate, excellent work, Max. Now you two work together and try to get along. You heard the lady. Let's stop fighting and do this, Andy. I think she was talking to you, Max. Alright, so that was an easy win. Should be 300. I think if I did lose a unit, it was only 1. Yeah, I lost only with my APC. 4 days is really fast, considering the other method is capturing the enemy HQ. And of course, power, as long as I kill like, what, 4 or 5 units in 1 turn, which I did, you get 100% power. So, really easy. Yeah, so in any case, now, to continue, I'm going to actually play the other version of Mission 7, which is Andy's version. Even though the title is called Max Strikes, there are 2 versions of the map. So, we'll go ahead and finish the video with this one. I'm going to speed through this one a little bit more, since we have the, basic understanding of how the game works. Okay, kid, do you think you can keep up? I'm not a little kid. I'm a CO in the Orange Star Army. I can keep up just fine. Let me know if you need help with your sea units. Those are the ones in the water without tires. I know plenty about boats, bunches. I don't need any help with sea units. Wait, or do I? No. Oh, hey, great. That's one less thing I need to explain. You need to explain submarines? No. Come on, now let him figure it out. Don't worry, if you can't remember everything, we all forget things from time to time. I'm here for all the little reminders. If a CO doesn't have guts, he's got nothing. Show me what you can do, kid. Alright, so this map, as you guys can see, not the same map as Max's. It's a little bit different. And I'm just realizing it's actually modified from the original version. The original on the GBA, I think, had a port here that Olaf could deploy sea units from, but not on this one. Alright, so Olaf starts with a bigger army as well as more bases, or maybe 2 bases, but he has more properties, so he's going to start deploying units quickly. But there are 2 ways you can win: destroy every unit or capture the HQ. I will try for both. If I can get these units away or keep my battleship alive, then I can destroy these units and capture his HQ. If not, we'll slowly make our grounders come along here and all the way over to finish off his army. So just like the other mission, his first battleship is not in range to protect or get protected, So we can go ahead and destroy it like this. Battleships cost 28,000 funds, by the way. So by destroying his battleship, I have given Olaf almost all of his co-power. So based on this, I'm guessing each star is 10,000. Because the battleship is worth 28, that would be each star is 10,000. That's 30,000. So I'm guessing this last 2,000 is that extra. So unlike the later games, it was increased or decreased in the later games from 10 to 9,000. So anyways, and then we're going to move this battleship over here and dive. Again, he has no way of destroying my subs, so if all of my subs are dived, I can destroy his battleships, no problem. And then over here, because he has a medium tank, artillery, and tank, we are actually going to bring a infantry and as well as a medium tank to help me kill those the tanks. And just make sure I'm out of range of the battleship here, so I can go under my sub. As for up here, I can charge in, but I could just hold this bridge, and I think that's what I'm going to do. It's better that way. A lot easier, I should say. So to lure him in, I'm actually just going to set up my APC like this, because I don't think he's going to one-shot it. This way I can use my artillery and rocket to destroy it, and save the damage on my tanks. And I don't even think I really need to build any units, but if I can, I'll build like a rocket or maybe another medium tank. Behold, gaze upon my wonders. Okay, he says it's pretty much the same thing as Max's mission. Alright. Oh, so he did one-shot my APC, so that's unfortunate. I thought maybe it would survive with like 1 HP. But it did not. Alright. So this battleship is now on a reef, getting extra 10% defense. But it doesn't really matter as long as I keep my C units out of range. This one's already dived, so I'm going to go ahead and move up and attack here. And then we're just going to move this one over here and dive as well. So now this one, it is damaged. So I'm actually going to move my battleship up. So these ground units are actually moving out, which is perfect. I'm actually going to move my battleship up here, so I can, in the reef with extra 10% defense. When he attacks me, I will take damage, but I will be able to repair it in due time. Same thing with my lander. I'm going to actually leave it in range. He can't one-shot it, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it right here. Maybe right here. And he can attack it if he wants, but it won't matter. Alright, and this is now going to be easy for me to block with the medium tank. His tanks can no longer get through. And we can move the rest of our tanks up as well. This will build another APC just because. It doesn't really matter though. Because I should be able to capture his HQ since he's leaving his base. Water. So there you go, his battleship attacked my lander. Not really going to matter. Especially since I'll get my co-power to recover it a little bit more. Alright, since these units are leaving, I'm actually safe to just go ahead and use my battleship here. Got a little bit lucky, destroyed it in one shot. That means I can use my subs and destroy his other battleship. And now I can actually land my troops onto the, on the shore over here. I'm not going to use my co-power just yet, because I don't have to. So what I'm going to do is actually move the tank back. Let's see, maybe this one? Alright, heck, you know what? I'm going to move both tanks back. I'll move my artillery up and my rocket up. Alright. And I want to save my co-power for this turn, just in case the tank on the very far right side moves down. I can one-shot it with my medium tank if I use my co-power. So it did not move, so that's good. Just makes it that much easier. Alright, so we can go ahead and capture here. And then use my medium tank to block the road. So now he can't do anything about it. And this mission is pretty much over. We can go ahead and kill this tank while we're at it. Yeah. Blood. like this. Maybe you'll want to attack my submarine. I don't know. Okay, and so we're going to go ahead. I think I just want to make sure I get the power, full power score. So we'll use our co-power and destroy some units this turn, and then we'll capture the HQ to finish it. So hyper repair. Woo. And we're going to get an additional 10% attack power and defense. So now, if with the chance, I should be able to kill this tank. Oh, not lucky. That's alright. Let's see. So now we can go rocket, artillery, go back here, grab a tank. Battleship can also attack. Could not kill infantry, that's unfortunate. And I think that's it. Alright, so we kill a few units, then we can go ahead and capture the HQ. So just like Max's, I think this was also in 4 turns, or 5 turns.
Victory!
That was really easy. See, I told you I had the goods. Hey, not bad, kid, not bad at all. Of course, I would have finished that a bit quicker, but what did you say? I couldn't even hear you over the sound of everyone celebrating. Oh yeah? Maybe I should say a little louder. Knock it off, both of you. Max, this is hardly mature behavior I was expecting from you. But he started. Max. If you two keep this up, you're going to have your heads handed to you. Alright, so really easy. Those were the 2 versions of Max Strikes for Andy and Max. So as you guys can see, without that turn, I might not have gone that good of a power score, because I didn't actually destroy a lot of his army. That's the only downside from capturing the HQ. But as long as you destroy some units, you'll get a decent score, and still get an S. So it did take me 1 extra day. I think for this one, it is expecting you to try and destroy some of his army, so I think it's up to maybe 8 days or so. But, it doesn't matter. As long as you complete the mission and get a good score. Interesting that's a red flag, showing that it was not the original path I took, but whatever. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We went through mission 4, 5, 6, and then both versions of 7. Next time we have mission 8, and this one also has 2 versions. We'll also head on to mission 9, which also has 2 versions. And I think we'll finish up with mission 10, which again has 2 versions. So, yeah. And actually, they also have a different name. Yeah, each one has a different name, so even though they're the same mission number, they have different names to them, unlike this one, which was both called Max Strikes. So anyways, look forward to that. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. As we get the game rolling. I won't probably have to talk about the basics of the gameplay, and you guys can probably see it on screen. But I'll still introduce new units as they come, the commanding officers as they come, and yeah, and any other game, strategies or tactics that might be useful if you guys decide to play, or if you guys are already playing, maybe I can teach you guys something new you guys didn't know before. So with that, I'm going to end the episode here, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye bye.